What's up everyone, Melky here, and at Vercel, we like to ship, especially when it comes to infrastructure for the aging cloud. And one of the most important pieces of that infrastructure is the Vercel CLI. The CLI is no longer just a way for someone to deploy from their terminal. It's becoming a building primitive for agents, a programmable interface they can use to connect resources, create sandboxes, inspect logs, debug issues, and keep improving their deployments. So in this first part, I'll walk you through some of the recent CLI updates that we're making for the Vercel CLI to make it a stronger foundation for building with your agents. All right, so let's kick things off with the Vercel Sandbox and how you can directly use it from the Vercel CLI. As we know, sandboxes are so hot right now, and the Vercel Sandbox is literally one of the fastest experiences out there, and it's perfect. You have your agent, they're gonna run some code, and you wanna make sure it's done safely, and what better way than a secure sandbox. So let's go into this terminal right here. As you can see, I got VC Connect, it's already good. What I'm gonna do is use VC Sandbox create -- connect, and all this does allows me to connect right to this new instance that I'm about to go and create. You can see here it's fast using the Vercel CLI, and bang, you can see the details of the sandbox that was created. You got the team, project, it scopes right to your authorization credentials, so it's super easy, super smooth. You can see here I can do normally any command I want from the sandbox. Now I can go ahead and do a git clone for a different repository that I want. So I can go ahead and let's go get the GitHub Vercel CLI. So I'll go over here, snag this. And from the sandbox, I can go with a git clone, and now it's going to clone into that Vercel repository. It's going to download it so I can use it in that sandbox. So now that we're back and the repository is cloned, I can go ahead and exit that sandbox, no big deal. And let's say I want to go back one day. I can go ahead and just do VC Sandbox Connect and the name of that sandbox, and I'm back exactly where I left off, LS, and you can see the GitHub repository. So go ahead, let your agents go wild in sandboxes using the Vercel CLI. So another vital piece of infrastructure that you need if you're building production-ready applications are feature flags. And Vercel Flags is a feature flag provider built into the Vercel platform. Create flags, define targeting rules, run progressive rollouts, run A/B tests, all from your agents on the Vercel CLI. Let's go ahead and create a new feature flag for this test project I have over here. The first command I'm going to do is going to be VC flags create and then the name of my feature flag, which is going to be A-B-split. So you can see here, now I have the feature flag turned on. I can go ahead and actually go and check it out. So there is my feature flag A/B split. I have my production target, preview target, and development target. Now, if I go back and let's say I need to tell my agent or myself, I want to modify the flag and the traffic associated to it. So here, what I can do is paste this command, but what I'm doing is calling the Vercel CLI, the flags command, the name of my feature flag, so against A/B split, and then I'm targeting my production environment. I'm going to split this by user ID, and the weight, I'm going to put false as 95 and weight to 5, meaning 95% of the traffic will be in one bucket of my feature flag, and the other 5%, assuming it's going to be the feature I want to roll out, is going to be here. And if I click this, now you can see I can narrow this. I can send a message, so I can configure split for production, false off, true on. That's going to persist in the actual platform, and there you go. Successfully, the feature flag A/B split has been updated in production. Okay, now this could be my favorite new feature in the Vercel CLI, but we have completely redesigned how curl works with VC curl. So agents don't need to just write code anymore. I mean, that was a while ago. They need to test what they've changed. And Vercel curl lets you make requests against a linked project or specific deployment without manually coupling deployment URLs. But one extra goodie is we have developed with the native curl command, so you can use anything you would with curl with VC curl. So here I have, my terminal open. I have a user site. So if I go into it, you can see a pretty basic site, just a hello API. But here I could do something like VC curl/API/hello. You can see I get the command back. Okay, cool, nothing too fancy, but I think what would be cool is if I tell my agent to do the same thing in a flow where maybe it deployed something and to check how do the endpoints look, do they work correctly, is something broken. Using VC curl, can you invoke the /API/hello endpoint? Awesome. So the endpoint responded successfully. The agent did exactly what it had to do. And now what if I say, how about making a post to the /API/users endpoint for me to test if it's working correctly? So I went ahead and picked up the actual schema of my endpoint because I deployed it to Vercel. And now it's going to make the post command all using the native command. You can see the post works correctly. The response created ID3 named Melky. VC curl reserved the deployment at hello-api-flame.vercel.app. Now, another exciting ship that we worked really hard at Vercel for the last couple of months are the experimental native binaries for the Vercel CLI. We want to create an experience that even if you're on Mac, Windows, or Linux, it doesn't matter. We want to focus on giving you the best for your build and operating systems. So you can see here, I have no more VC. I've actually deleted it and uninstalled the regular Vercel that you install via node. And I want to do npm install -g at vercel/vc-native. Let's go ahead and find the two packages, and now which VC shows me that I've installed the native binary, the Mac OS binary for my computer because I am using a Mac. Now, I can show all the commands that work for it like it does today, but what I really want to demonstrate is the differences in how we execute it. So you can see here, this is in fact a Mac 64-bit executable for ARM64. That's my current computer. It is not the Intel chips. I have an M4 here. And another thing I really want to demonstrate is the actual size difference of those binaries. You can see here, this binary ships with everything we need is 66 megabytes. So these binaries are much faster and much smaller, and we're rolling them out to make sure for Windows, Linux, Mac users, you get the best experience. Okay, now this next part is very exciting. Plugins have taken over most harnesses. If you haven't, plugins can really steer and change how your harness behaves to really optimize your development experience. And Vercel has our very own Vercel plugin, which is a must-have for anyone developing using Vercel. Now you can see here I have Claude Code open, and I just want to show you that the Vercel plugin is available everywhere right now. I'm at the official marketplace for the Claude Code harness, and if I type in Vercel, you can see here we have the Claude Code plugins official version of the Vercel, 152,000 installs. You can go ahead and install for a user scope, or globally, I'm going to go ahead and install for my user scope here. And now it's going to ask me to do reload -plugins. Now my plugin has been reloaded, and it comes with a bunch of different skills and different agents that we can use. So now, anytime you develop with Next.js, you want to deploy it using shadcn, auth, anything like that, the plugin has got you covered for Claude Code. However, we don't stop there, because if you open up Codex, the exact same experience still exists. I can go ahead and do plugins to browse the different plugins available. You can see here I already have the Vercel plugin installed, and this is also from the OpenAI official Codex marketplace. So regardless, if you want to use GPT models on Codex, the Vercel plugin has got you covered. But wait, there is still more, because now if I do Grok CLI, and if you want to use the Grok CLI, you can also go ahead and plugins and see that we also are available on the Grok marketplace. So if, regardless of your flavor, whether it's Grok, Claude Code, Codex, the Vercel plugin is available. You can even install with the npx command for any harness you like to use. So go ahead and use it and really elevate your CLI experience. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this quick update video. You have to stay tuned because part 2, part 3, a bunch of parts are going to come in the future. We're going to continue showing you how we're shipping on the CLI, how we're elevating your agent game, and overall, all the cool stuff we have cooking here at Vercel. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.